Okay, welcome everyone to another deep dive. And some topics really do feel like you're trying to map unseen dimensions, maybe like tackling advanced physics. Today is definitely one of those.
Oh, absolutely. We're venturing into some really profound and, let's be honest, pretty challenging metaphysical structures described in the source material you gave us.
Exactly. Today we are diving deep into the second level of what the text calls the Trinity of Trinities.
Yeah.
This is a core idea mainly from the foreword in papers 105 and 106 of the Urantia book.
Right.
And yeah, the text itself flags this as advanced.
Mm-hmm. Think of it like this, maybe. We're trying to get a feel for the operating system of this vast cosmos. It's intricate. Yeah, it's complex, but understanding it, even a little, is sort of key to seeing your own place in it all.
That's a great way to put it. So our mission today, unpack these ideas. Try to get a sense of the roles played by the supreme, the ultimate, and the absolute beings within this second level. And crucially, what does any of this abstract stuff mean for you, for your experience, your destiny?
We're basically aiming for a shortcut, right? A way into understanding some really deep metaphysical insights.
Let's try and make some sense of it.
Okay, let's do it.
So first, just a quick recap. The first level that involved the primal divine personalities, the universal Father, eternal Son, infinite Spirit, they just are existential, the source.
Right. Eternally existing.
Yeah.
The second level, though, is fundamentally different. Here we meet what are called experiential deities.
Experiential, meaning?
Meaning their reality isn't static like the first level. It's not, eternally pre-existent in quite the same way. They emerge. They become, it's tied to cosmic evolution, to creation processes.
Okay. Still connected back to the Paradise Trinity, though.
Oh, yes, definitely connected. But they represent a different kind of engagement with creation, more dynamic, you could say.
And the text describes this level as providing for a possible limited integration of reality. It mentions things like causes, intermediates, and finals.
Inceptors, realizers, and consummators, beginnings, existences, and destinies.
Yeah. It points to this level being about grand unfolding processes, not just static being. It's driven by these divine relationships.
It sounds like a chain reaction almost.
Exactly. There's this amazing progression described, like divine partnerships building on each other. Starts with Father, Son, evolves through Son, Spirit, then Spirit Supreme.
And Supreme Ultimate, and finally Ultimate Absolute. Wow.
Right. And the text does note that the culmination of this, involving the Absolute and the Father Infinite, well, it's largely still in the future from our viewpoint.
So why? Why all these levels, this complexity?
Well, the core idea presented is divine accessibility.
Yeah.
This whole multi-level structure is the mechanism, the way the universal Father reveals himself fully across all the different phases and dimensions of reality.
Making himself understandable, reachable.
To all the incredibly diverse kinds of beings out there. It ensures that no creature, no matter where they are or what level they're on, lacks a connection, an appropriate divine representation, and a path to the infinite. Okay, makes sense. So let's meet these experiential deities on level 2. The first one, God the Supreme. He's the most relevant for us finite beings, right?
Yes, absolutely. The text defines the Supreme as, let me get this right, the deity consequence of the unity of the Paradise Trinity, an experiential liaison with the creator children of the Paradise deities.
Okay, experiential liaison with the creator children. So linked to beings like our creator's son, Michael of Nebadon.
Precisely. His origin is tied to that cooperation between the original Trinity and these creator personalities out here, building universes like ours.
And the crucial difference you mentioned, unlike the existential deities who just are, the Supreme becomes.
Exactly. He's not fully actualized yet. His complete reality is still unfolding. It awaits the completion of this whole first stage of finite evolution, specifically when all 7 super universes get to that advanced state called light and life.
So he's going.
That's the incredible part. He is currently growing, evolving because of cosmic evolution. His reality expands as the cumulative experience of all finite creatures, like you, like me. And their creator sons contributes to him.
Wait, hang on. Every moral choice I make, every spiritual step forward, acts of service.
The text indicates yes. Every one of those isn't just a personal event. It contributes in some way to the growing reality of the Supreme Being.
That changes everything about perspective, doesn't it?
It really does. He's described as the personal god of finite experience, the ultimate synthesizer, the over-controller of grand universe evolution. He is, in a very real sense, the deity expression of everything happening in the seven superuniverses.
Including my life, our lives.
Mm-hmm. It means we aren't just passive observers or recipients. We are active participants in the actualization of this experiential divinity. Your experiences, your struggles, your triumphs, they have real cosmic value. They actually contribute.
It validates the whole finite journey then, makes it deeply meaningful.
Fundamentally so.
Okay, so beyond the supreme and the finite, we get to God the ultimate.
Right. Emerging from the eventuated unity of the second Trinity, the text says, he represents divinity on the transcendental and absonite levels. We're moving beyond our familiar time and space now.
Okay, let's unpack those terms. Transcendental, what does that mean here?
It means it transcends linear time and space as we experience it. Think past, present, future, all sort of coexisting or accessible in a different way. A transcendental being might appear in time from our perspective relating to evolution, but from the viewpoint of the eternal divine mind, they essentially always have been and always will be. They don't live time sequentially like us.
Okay, different relationship to time. And absonite, that sounds even more abstract.
It is pretty abstract, yeah. Beings linked to the ultimate, maybe residing in those outer space levels, or even paradise, they're often described as eventuated, meaning they appear fully formed. They don't evolve slowly like finite creatures do. And they're absonite because they seem to combine finite and absolute characteristics.
Finite and absolute. How does that work? Like, what does that look like?
Well, the idea is their form might have some aspects of fineness, but they are absolute in that they aren't subject to decay, disease, the big limitations of purely finite existence. And the text even hints at things totally alien to our experience. Like, if they reproduce, it wouldn't be sexual. It'd be more like a mental or spiritual joining, something like trinitization, perhaps.
Right, that process where three beings create a fourth coordinate one. We've touched on that before.
Exactly. The text uses analogies, trying to help us grasp it, mentioning angelic creation, maybe some aspects of mansion world life. It's just a fundamentally different mode of being.
And important.
Yeah.
The ultimate is not just a bigger supreme.
Definitely not. He has unique qualities, unique functions, things like cosmic control, direction, this intentional unification, personality, all operating beyond the Supreme's finite scope. He's the experiential deity specifically for transcendental realities. Different job description, you might say.
Okay, supreme for finite, ultimate for transcendental.
Correct.
And then God, the absolute, the third one.
Ah, yes. And this is where the text really signals, okay, this gets philosophically tough. He's described as the interface, the bridge between experiential reality and existential reality.
The link is given as the personality consequence of the final function of the Trinity absolute.
Okay, hold on. Trinity absolute. What's that?
Yeah, another Trinity concept.
Yeah.
The text briefly touches on three absolute realities involved there. First, the deity absolute. Think of it like the revealed spiritual will of the Father, always existing. Second, the universal absolute, sort of cosmic mediator, balancing divine will and creature reality, an active force.
Okay.
And third, the unqualified absolute. This is described as the unrevealed physical absolute, maybe the source of the primordial stuff physical creation is made from.
Wow, three absolutes. And the theory mentioned is that these three eventually function as one unified absolute. That's the speculation presented, yes. Though the text labels it a theory, it would signify the complete realization of all infinite potentials within the universal Father, the I Am, a unification of divine will, cosmic mediation, and the physical foundation.
It sounds, the scale is just immense, like trying to grasp the absolute ground of being.
It is incredibly complex, and the text is very upfront about it. Even advanced universe philosophers don't fully get it. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed here...
Join the club.
Exactly. You're in very good company. It needs patient study, like any really deep subject.
Okay. One concept that seems important here is existential reality. How does that fit in?
Right. In this context, existential means that which has eternal existence. From our creature perspective, no beginning, no end. Even though, of course, the Father is the ultimate first source.
Like a continuous divine process, something always ongoing.
Precisely. The text uses the image of an eternal circle. Picture the universe like a huge wheel. Paradise at the hub, spokes reaching out. Once that wheel starts turning, it just keeps going eternally under the Father's guidance.
Wait. If it's a circle, does that mean evolution just repeats endlessly?
Ah, good question. No, that's crucial. While the overall framework might be circular, the actual evolutionary process within each cycle, or in the spokes, is linear. It's genuine progress, non-repetitive.
So it doesn't just reset and start over.
No, the attainments, the growth, the experiences they build, the content evolves, even if the framework is eternal.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So we have these three: supreme, ultimate, absolute, distinct experiential deities. How do they relate in the long run? Are they separate forever?
The text says they are distinct personalities, yes, but they're also destined for functional unity. As cosmic evolution unfolds, they'll work together more and more closely.
A unity that mirrors the original Paradise Trinity: Father, Son, Spirit working as one.
That's the idea. It's described as a consequence of their own ancestral trinities integrating more fully. When fully actualized, their function will be like one coordinated reality,
Mm.
representing the totality of experiential divinity for all evolving levels, finite, transcendental, even out to the absolute frontiers.
That really drives home that idea of comprehensive divine provision again. No gaps.
Exactly. Wherever you are, whatever level of reality, there's an appropriate divine connection and accessibility, a seamless divine reality covering everything.
And the text uses an analogy sometimes, right?
Yeah.
About distinct personalities working as one.
Yes, like different facets of one complex being, or maybe like the different roles a single person plays: parent, professional, friend, distinct roles, distinct functions, but still one individual. But it always stresses they remain distinct personalities, not just aspects.
Okay, that helps visualize the distinct yet unified idea a bit better. But this ultimate unity, that's future, right? How does it show up now? Is there any current manifestation?
Ah, good point. Yes, there is. That's where the being called Magistin comes into the picture. The text presents him as a tangible, present manifestation of this coordinated function among the second-level deities happening right now in our universe age.
Magistin, chief of reflectivity,
Mm-mm.
the central hub for universal communication.
The very same. And his actualization process itself is described as a direct result of these second-level deities working in concert. He was actualized on the second level by the deity absolute, acting through the ultimate, and in response to an initial creative mandate from the supreme being.
Wow, so Magistin existing is like living proof. Proof that the supreme, ultimate, and absolute are already functioning together in some coordinated way.
Precisely. They're providing essential cosmic services, like universal communication. The Supreme needs that for oversight of the superuniverses, and the Ultimate and Absolute need it for directing those further out realities.
So it's a practical, happening right now demonstration of their integrated function, even if the full unity is still down the road.
Exactly. A present reality pointing towards a future potential.
Okay, we've covered a lot of incredibly complex ground here, and like we said at the start, and the source confirms, these are tough ideas, philosophically demanding.
They absolutely are. They challenge even, highly advanced beings described in the text. It requires patience, sustained study, like mastering any really advanced field, quantum physics or deck philosophy. It takes effort.
Gotcha.
So yeah, if your head's spinning a bit,
Perfectly normal.
completely normal. Don't feel discouraged by it.
But even though it's abstract, the text really emphasizes that these concepts have profound significance for us, for finite beings trying to figure out our place, our destiny.
Mm-hmm. The core message, really, that comes through these experiential deities is that your finite experience, your life, has genuine cosmic value. It actually contributes meaningfully to this evolving divine reality, especially God the Supreme.
And understanding this bigger picture, this second level, gives you that amazing panoramic view of divine provision, God reaching out to all levels. It reinforces that idea that no creature is insignificant or alone.
Right. And engaging with these huge ideas, even if it feels like stretching your brain to the limit, well, the text suggests that's part of the point. It's developing new capacities for cosmic thinking.
Preparing us for, what did it call it? Universe citizenship.
Exactly. Expanding our consciousness, getting us ready to eventually function on a much grander cosmic scale.
So to sum up our journey today, we've explored this intricate second level of the Trinity of Trinities. We've looked at the dynamic roles of the Supreme, the deity growing with finite experience, the ultimate handling transcendental reality, and the absolute, that interface with the truly existential.
And these concepts, complex as they are, reveal a cosmos that isn't static. It's unfolding, it's evolving, and incredibly, your finite experience is woven into that divine process.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening to ponder. Consider that your personal journey, the growth, the struggles, the understanding you gain, even the small acts of love and service, Perhaps it's not just a small, isolated thing. Perhaps it's actually a meaningful, contributing thread in this vast, dynamic, and eternally unfolding divine reality that these profound texts describe. Something to think about.